Hi everyone, Amber here with Yarn Equals Crochet, and thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you a mystery crochet along that I have been participating in for the past few months. It is through a yarn company called Expressions Fiber Arts. And here are the patterns. They're releasing one section a month. I've finished the first 4 sections. The 5th section has not been released yet. And this pattern is considered an adventurous beginner, which I would completely agree with. It calls for 4 skeins of worsted, or not 4, excuse me, 12. 12 skeins of worsted weight yarn, one for each section that is released for a 12-month period of time. And I've really been enjoying this so far, and it's given me an opportunity to use some of the beautiful hand-dyed yarn that I've purchased over the past few months. And what I decided to do with this one is I picked the Sewrella Yarn Oopsie yarn that I purchased back in January. And the reason that I picked this yarn is because I got 12 skeins of it. So that gave me the perfect opportunity. This pattern is the perfect pattern to use all 12 of those. So this has been a new experience for me, and I thought that I would just go ahead and do a review of this yarn because I've showed you Sewrella yarn multiple times on my channel. I haven't worked with it yet, so now it's time to let y'all know if I think this yarn's actually worth it or not. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so for section number 1, I just picked a random pack and just picked the colors from left to right, because one of the cool things that Sewrella Yarn did when they gave me my yarn packs, each pack has 4 skeins of yarn in it, is they color coordinated all of them so that they will go together. So I don't have to color coordinate these myself. They've already done the work for me, which is great. So I started with the first pack with this beautiful dark tonal green. And let me tell you, this color is stunning. It was so soft. It's squishy. I remember really just sort of being amazed to a degree while I was working with this yarn and working the first section. As I was working with this yarn, I could not believe how plump it felt, how squishy it was. It did not split, and if it did split, it wasn't difficult. Like, it was very minimal. It did not happen a lot, if at all. This is what I used for sections 2 and 3 because it was 2 hanks that were the same color. This colorway is multicolor. It has all different. It's got pinks and browns and like some purples here, just all different throughout. Now, I'll be honest with you. This colorway is not my favorite. I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it either. Like, nowhere near as much as I enjoyed this one. I feel like it's kind of muddy. So I can understand why this one was an oopsie, because I feel like these colors should be brighter. This should be more vibrant. Like, this worked up exactly the same as this one. It was plump, it was squishy, minimal splitting, easy to work with, and I cannot complain about this. Other than the fact that the color's not my favorite, cannot complain. All right, this is the color that I used for section 4. It's another green, but this one's more of like a woodsy type of green to me. It's got brown undertones to it. I mean, you can see that it went with this colorway so well, so I can definitely see why they put these two together. Again, super soft, super squishy, easy to work with. I didn't really know what to expect working with superwash merino yarn. I know, there are a lot of folks out there that absolutely love it and enjoy it. I had never had the opportunity to use it before, and this is absolutely luxurious. If every yarn felt this way, it would be fantastic. This kind of yarn, it's expensive, and hand-dyed is expensive, and it's not something that everyone can do. I can't do this all the time. So these are sections 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the next sections will be releasing very shortly. This pack here, this color pack here, will be the next section that I work. So this will be sections 5, 6, 7, and 8. These will be the last sections. So these will be sections 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm so glad that I've got a way to use this beautiful yarn now, because you know how like sometimes you'll buy yarn because you get a really good deal on it, but you don't know what in the world you're going to do with it. That's kind of how I was feeling. And to be honest, I was feeling pretty darn guilty over buying this yarn. But then in comes Expression Fiber Arts with this amazing mystery crochet along. The only thing that I know about it is this is a blanket and that you need 12 hanks or skeins of worsted weight yarn to do it. In my opinion, Sewrella Yarn, the worsted weight superwash merino, is a true joy to work with. It's squishy and it's soft, and if you did find yourself purchasing it, I do not think you would regret it at all. I really think you would enjoy it. But let me show you the blanket so far. All right, here is my blanket, and you'll see the first section right here that I used with this green. This middle section here was by far the most difficult right here, and thank goodness Expression Fiber Arts has also been releasing YouTube videos to help with certain parts of the pattern that could, you know, be a bit more challenging, give you some guidance. You can actually see and watch someone do it. And my stitch marker here, I'm using this to indicate the right side of my work, because certain sections of this, the way that it's been worked, like this one was just worked like in a spiral. But section 2, which is right here, which is what I use this right here for. I think that this yarn, this colorway in particular, is more attractive once you see it actually worked up. Looking at it in the ball, honestly, I think it's just not overly that pretty, but seeing it worked up and seeing how the colors go in together, it helped me to see it, because I thought, okay, I don't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to. But section 2 was worked at an angle where you did like this long side here, and then you went over to this side, and then you had to turn the work and then work back. So you just did like this section here, and then that was section 2. Section 3 was the other side. You joined right here, and then you go down and go across and join with section 2, and just keep turning the work and going up and down like that. Section 4 was just this little outline area here. And it was just like, there was no turning. It was just worked like all the way around as like a little border. This thing is pretty decent size. Now I'm going to move the camera and let you see how big this actually is. And I'm at my kitchen table, so it's, I apologize for any camera movements that might be unstable. But, I mean, you'll see how big this is so far, and this is just 4 sections. So, yeah, here it is, my mystery crochet along blanket so far. I've really been enjoying it. This has been fun, and I can't wait to see how the rest of these colorways work up and join them all with this project. I will definitely keep you updated and let you know how things are going with it. And I appreciate you all hanging with me today. And if you can get your hands on some Sewrella yarn, I absolutely recommend it. Thank you all. I hope you have a good day. And until next time, happy yarn crafting.